and a very good afternoon. I bid to everyone. Thank you for being here. Okay, I trust that if you're here, it's because you want to know. Okay, how? So this is online networking. Make it work for you. So today, both of us basically will be sharing about online networking that has worked for us. So it's more of like a sharing session. Okay, we want to expose and we want to have everyone involved like, in terms of making their own global learning session. So this is basically, but I think to some extent, you won't just be doing this for the global learning, because once you get the whole of it, macam mana nak buat networking online ni, I think it will go beyond global learning sessions. It could be any other types of collaborations to come, inshallah. And that's why we're here today. And I trust that if you're here, it's a conscious decision to be here. It's on a Friday, Friday petang. So it's really good to see those who are here today. Right. Now, who are we? Who we are? Okay, who are we? Well, my name is Nadiah, and I'm the Global Learning Fellow for UITM. Okay, spearheading the global learning lah. And also I have with me my team, Dr. Siti Hafsyah Idris, and she is now the Deputy Dean of Students Affairs from Faculty of Law. So both of us, I think if we put together, we have assisted, I think, over 40 global learning sessions and international collaborations. I mean, for not just for our faculty, but for the whole university. So we've assisted with all this. So I think we are here today to share with those who are present about, how to conduct, how to make it work. To be honest, just the practical aspect of it. We're not going to go so much about the theory or whatever it is, but we are going to share particularly how we succeeded with all these international collaborations, and specifically for global learning sessions, how to conduct and plan and have one. Right. And so for those of you who are not familiar, right, with this, but this is actually our strategic initiatives for 2021, okay, Global Learning at UITM Information Package, which is, you will receive this at the end of this session. We have prepared like a QR code for you to scan once you fill up the form. The form is very simple. It's just your name, your faculty, and your email address and phone number if we need to contact you. And then you will get the whole Google Drive of all that you need to know to execute your own global learning. All right. So global learning at UiTM handbook, this is on the way. And this is one of the training modules that we want to have, which is online networking, make it work for you. And nanti, inshallah, I think in a few weeks to come, we will have these 2 more training modules. All right. How to deliver an elevator pitch, right? Like when you want to, once you have connected, macam after today, okay. So this is in that order tau, right? So after today, what's going to happen is you're going to go back to your office, to your room, to your laptops, and then you're going to search for the people you want to network with. And then next step is for you to deliver a pitch. Like, how do you approach them to want to do these global learning sessions and talk to your students? So this is what we are focusing on. So this is actually a series of it lah. The first module, the second, and the third. So the third one is the conducting and planning it in greater detail. Okay, so why are we here? Why are you here? So at the end of this sharing session, at the end of this talk, you will understand how to effectively network online. And this is proven with our successes, I mean, in terms of conducting our own global learning sessions, assisted with over 40 million, 40 million, 40 global, 40, over 40 global learning sessions. Sorry, yeah, Hari Jumaat, okay. Right. So I would like to take you to this. The richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work. So marinate on that for a minute. And this is by the famous Robert Kiyosaki, who talks about Rich Dad Poor Dad. I mean, the book that he published. So he said that yeah, so you have to be strategic with this. You can't just, work hard and work in your own silo and not connecting with people. Networking can get you far. Networking can get you beyond what you can imagine. So online networking is the best for now, especially post-pandemic. We can't travel, right? So Now, what are the advantages? Okay, I'm just going to cover this for a bit, and then after that, I'm going to pass to Dr. Effa. So, advantages of online networking. I mean, these are some of the things that we could think of from our experience. But of course, I think when you experience it yourself, you can list down so much more to this. So, first of all, I think this is very straightforward. I mean, it's convenient. Okay, it's very convenient. The convenience of online networking. You can just do it anywhere, right? Anytime, like whether you are traveling somewhere, I mean, you are at home, in your living room, in the kitchen, you know, sometimes when you multitask while cooking, I think I want to shoot an email today. I want to send out an email today. I think Dr. Ifa does that a lot. I mean, she cooks and she networks, you know, at the same time. So convenience, you can do it anytime, anywhere in the car. I mean, especially now with the Ramadan and the jam, oh my God, you can plan so much. Maybe you can even draft an email, right? And it's also cost effective. I mean, free or close to free, like no cost. It's almost zero cost. I mean, your data, but like I said, almost zero. But with a big impact, like return of investment is beyond what you can imagine. I said, like, at first, your intention could be just to establish a global learning session. Tapi because of your sincerity, and I think because somehow you managed to get across, you know, you just managed to have the connection, the camaraderie with the person you are in touch with, and suddenly, hey, you know what, we want to invite you pula, or you know what, you want to have our students to collaborate, you know what, let's have an MOU or an agreement, let's have this every semester. So these are the things, I mean, the return of investment is just, and what is it that you are investing? It's your time, a little bit of time in researching the right people, matching, you know, who you want to collaborate with, who you want to connect with. And then other than that, nothing, right? I mean, it's very close to zero cost. Lack of pressure. I mean, okay, Dr. Ifa and I'm myself, I mean, we have both experienced visiting embassies, going to these all networking events, conferences, and all that. And the pressure of networking face to face is just daunting. Like, I don't even know where to begin. The first few sessions, I mean, when I went there, when I was with the international office, I mean, it scares me to just talk to people who I've never met, and let alone trying to convince them to have a collaboration with UiTM. It's a daunting task, but of course it takes practice. And as the sessions pass, I mean, as to when I attended many more of these embassy sessions or international organization sessions, I built confidence. But I think with online networking, you don't really have to be that vulnerable to show yourself in that sense. I mean, you know, because when you are face-to-face networking, attending conferences ke apa kan, you are really putting yourself at risk from being rejected or declined. Tapi itulah, the pressure is there kan, betul tak Dr. Effa? I mean, what if the person don't want to talk to you? What if the person rasa macam dia tengok cara you dress dia terus macam tak nak, macam, oh, you pakai tudung, you perempuan, you know what, tak nak, you tak nak network, because it's like usually macam sometimes in some culture they would prefer to network man to man. So this is something I had to learn the hard way. And people do to some extent discriminate, although they don't speak it out, but it happens. So online networking removes all those stress. I mean, it gets easier. It gets like, oh my God, this is so easy to do rather than the face-to-face networking, because that is so much more pressure. Boleh macam menggigil dan menggeletar kalau nak cakap dengan orang, and apatah lagi nak initiate conversation, nak initiate collaboration. Tapi when it comes to online, look, we can reply the email anytime, we can send the email anytime, we will just wait for the reply. Dia tak reply, tak apa, move on to another person, right? It's senang. Kalau face to face ni macam, oh my God, you know, like, lepas tu kita get, okay, I mean, I can list down all this face to face networking and online networking. I can go on and on to compare, because both of us, Dr. Ifa and I, we have experienced this, and online networking is awesome, right? So deliberate. I mean, you have time to deliberate your choices. Like, you can decide siapa yang you nak collaborate. You nak pergi universiti mana? You nak approach industri mana dekat luar negara? You nak approach siapa yang you nak approach? Siapa yang in that bidang yang you nak? Siapa orang tu? Siapa penulis buku, for example? I mean, I did this last semester. Ada buku yang kami guna for our code, and I feel that, I nak cuba tulis lah kat dia ni. It would be very good to have him speak to the students. And guess what? I mean, he replied to my email, and he joined one of the global link sessions which I organized and coordinated for my class. Can you imagine? H index saya tak ingat, tapi citation dia almost 8,000 citation dia from Google Scholar, right? So he said yes, and he published books and articles, and you'll never know, right? I just sent him an email and I request for a Zoom session, can I have, 20 minutes of your time to just pitch this idea and see if you like, and then just, yeah, 20 minutes. One day later, after he replied my email, one day later, we are in a Zoom session, and I was just like, you know what, this opportunity to talk to the students, blah, blah, blah. We don't have international students, and perhaps this is one of the way to expand the students' worldview by connecting them with people from all over the world, and you are an expert in this area, blah, blah, blah. So, but of course, if you need more information later, I think at the end, Dr. Ifa will present, and she will share her experience managing all these international collaborations. And I think if I may say, I mean, I know her for a long time, and I can say that Australia is actually her second home already, because dia banyak networking dekat Australia. I mean, she could just, yeah. I mean, I'm not, yeah, nanti. Betul. So itu memang rumah dia lah sebenarnya. Tunggunya dia tak ada beli rumah je lagi kat Australia tu, tapi dia dah ramai connection dekat situ. So, and you can be that as well. I mean, you can build this slowly but surely. And so with online networking, you have time to deliberate. You boleh approach siapa yang nak buat research sikit kan, siapa. And now ada banyak platform, nanti Dr. Ifa can share, and explore and get different perspectives. I think when you do online networking, I think you will somehow be exposed to this, whether you want it or not, whether you realize it or not, and you will keep up to date with the latest ideas, and you will expand your worldview, and, especially via multidisciplinary collaboration. Like, even, okay, I teach intercultural communication, I teach English, but I don't normally just approach people in that field. I will approach industrial players like lawyers or CEOs, just to have them to give a different perspectives of what intercultural communication really is in their perspective, right? So I don't just limit myself to like my field. This is an opportunity for you to expand your worldview and collaborate multidisciplinary, right? Okay. And of course, it's safe. I mean, to some extent, it's safe. I mean, because especially I think with online networking, and if you use uitm.edu.my as your credential, and of course, when you want to introduce to the university, I think that sets up the credential that it's safe to network with you, because that's why I akan guna UiTM email lah, because that will set you apart from all these scammers, right? So I'm sure people are a bit skeptical, but when they know, okay, this is an organization that once you send them an email, they will Google you. I mean, okay, just save them the time, give them the university website, and just, okay, here's the university website for you to get more info about the university. So we are a comprehensive university, we're a public university, and there's only 20 public universities in Malaysia, blah, blah, blah. I think we have already prepared a global learning information package at the end of this session, after Dr. Ifa's session. You can just take all the information from there. We have samples, and I think you can just emulate that and adapt it to meet your needs, okay? Right, let's take a look at how you can make online networking work for you. So I think Dr. Ifa, if you're ready, right, the stage is yours, right?
Thank you, Nadiah. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. So, okay, where shall we start to become the online networker? Okay, actually, I posted this just now on my IGS, and then suddenly my former student said that, okay, of course, LinkedIn. So, actually, okay, never mind. I'll start with the flow. Okay, thanks to Nadiah for giving me the opportunity to share with her, together with her, on our experiences actually on how to become online networker, because yes, we do have experiences to do networking on face to face. Okay, I remember when I started back in 2000, I think 2016, no, 2017, I think, when I need to draft an email to start networking with other universities in Australia. Okay, so during that time, I didn't know what to do. And of course, I Google, and of course, I refer to Nadiah on how to actually to write an email to these collaborator, let's say, to these universities and these professors overseas, especially in Australia and also in Europe and in other countries. So from there, actually, we developed the skills to do networking. And also from that networking, we start to have um, a group of, not of friends, but a group of networking. So we start, for me personally, I will start with warm calls, not cold calls. But starting from this semester, I aggressively start with cold call. So what is actually the difference between warm calls and cold calls? So warm call is actually, you don't have to go to a person that you do not know. You just find your friends, your relative, or anyone that you know surrounding you. For example, okay, I have a friend, okay, I have someone that I know in Australia. So based on my experience in when I was the liaison officer for international affairs, so we can contact that person that we know, and then we can ask her if, for example, the area is actually not her area is not for our subject, because we have to identify. So we need to know what is our goal. Our goal is actually to invite this guest lecturer to come to our class for our subject. So we need to match that, as Nadiah mentioned just now, we need to match that the CV or the bio of that particular lecturer, or that academician, or that person from the industry, to match our subject. So if you have identified that, that means you want to invite them to come to your class, to your subject. So perhaps you have one friend or one connection in Australia, but she or he is not from the different, she's not teaching the same subject. So perhaps you can ask her to introduce you to another friend. So, but when I did the first time last year, what I did was I contacted one of the deputy dean in Australia, in one of the university in Australia. I asked her whether I'm teaching insolvency law, for example. So I want, and I know that she is also from her bio in the website, I know that she is also teaching on something related to insolvency law. So I asked her first whether she can come to my class. So she is actually my, I know her. So this is called warm call. So because I know her, and then I invite her first. So we start with that first, warm call. So we don't go for someone that we do not know. We want to try to find, so send email to anybody that we do not know. Don't do that. We start with someone surrounding us, yang we know lah, macam tu. And then I also know this person from US. He's actually not teaching in my subject, not similar to my subject, but I know he can talk, he can share his experience as a writer in US to my subject, something related to my subject. So I invited him to my class because I always chat with him through WhatsApp. Even though he's in US, but I can chat with him. So I have a good relationship with him. And then I invited Nadiah to my class to hear from him. So from there, Nadiah actually connecting with him as one of the network. Nadiah punya network. And then I think last semester, right, Nadiah, you invited Brian to your class. So that is how we do our the first step to do our networking. We start with warm calls, and then, for example, this Professor Samble. I met Professor Samble actually in Surabaya, Erlangga, but it's not in the university itself. It's not in the Erlangga University. But I met him in one of the restaurants in Surabaya. We had a dinner. Okay, and then he introduced himself, and then we exchanged details, contacts. Then from time to time, actually, I did a courtesy message to him. So courtesy is greetings. I just say to him, I just say, hello, Prof. How are you? Hope you are doing fine. And then this is just a courtesy message to you. And then this is to build a rapport between me and him. And when I want to get a guest lecturer for my class, I ask him, I WhatsApp him and then ask him whether he want to come to my class to give a lecture on this particular subject. And then of course, okay, he said yes. But to formalize whatever conversation between me and him through WhatsApp, I email him. So in my email, I explained to him that okay, I want to invite him, and then when he say yes, then I will go for I will email it again with a follow-up email. Next slide. Next slide. Nadiah. Follow-up email. So this is actually not from the assembly, but this is actually with another guest professor, guest lecturer from other university. So first email, I just introduced, and then I asked him whether asked her whether they were interested to join to become our guest lecturer or not. And then in the follow-up email, I will explain about my class, my subject, the background of the students, and also what is the expectation in the class, how many minutes, and also the session, how how she want to conduct the sessions, and then the specific topic for that particular subject that we want she or he to share with our class. As Nadiah mentioned, actually they are not to replace us as a class lecturer, but they are supplementary. So they come to my class. For example, when I contact some of the guest lecturer, I told them that they will come to my class to speak on their country perspective, for example, on environmental law, on wildlife. So I'm teaching wildlife protections. So they will actually share with my student on wildlife protection in UK, for example. And I will prepare my student with the topic before these lecturer come to my class. So when this lecturer come to my class, the student knows what to expect from the lecturers, from the guest lecturer, and then they also can ask the lecturer, the guest lecturer, about the comparative study between Malaysia and also the other country, the country where she come from. So this is actually we need to explain and specify in the follow-up email. And then after that, we need to have a pre-meeting, pre-discussion meeting, a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet meeting with these lecturers if she agrees to come to our class. So first, we start with warm-up, okay, but with person that you know. And then if she agree, then we follow up with the details of the emails. And then we will go to the next stage, which is the pre-event discussions. This is very important, pre-event discussion, because sometimes they don't understand our culture. So we need to explain to them about our culture, okay? And then because some of the guest lecturer will ask whether they how the about our students, how active our student in the class, okay, about the English of our student, and then also about should they present in 40 minutes or should they ask the question to the student. So this is very important for us to have a preparation before the class. Okay, so the first is warm-up calls, and then the second one, okay, Nadiah, next slide. Okay, this one, maybe I'll talk about this later. Okay, this one later. Okay, and then introduce your networks. Okay, so introduce your networks. Okay, this is what I do in my faculty. Okay, I have my networks because maybe because previously I was the liaison officer of international affairs, so I have many networks. So with this network, I gather all this network. Ada beberapa orang, so I really jaga them, okay, to have this is my network, and if I need their assistance, okay, then selalulah tanya diorang khabar, and then we can share any of our experiences through emails, through WhatsApp. So from this, actually, okay, we built another network. So if you can see here, extend your network, maknanya they macam reciprocity effects. We give positive vibe, kindness vibe to them. Okay, kita kata okay, because actually they ask me whether they can come to our institute. For example, this is especially for Indonesian punya academician. They ask whether they can come to our university to give a lectures, and then we help them. We assist them. Okay, you can come. Okay, not only for this class, but you can also come to another class ataupun they want to do some activities. So in return, they will actually, when we want, maknanya bukanlah kita mengambil kesempatan, but actually reciprocity effects lah. Maknanya dia akan tolong kita juga. For example, in this situation, in this email, next slide, Nadiah. Panos, okay, this person, this professor actually, I met him in one of the class actually. And this class, we were together, taught on what we call it, disability and discrimination law, something like that. And then we talked about, and then he asked me about whether I can introduce lecturers from Asian. So I introduced some of my friends in Asian countries to him. And in return, when I asked him whether he knew someone else who can teach environmental law, because I know his area is not environmental law, but I invited him first to my class for my other subject, even though I know that he is not the expert in that particular area, but he can talk about disability person. So disability person, the rights of disability person are in a certain topic in my subject. So I invited him last semester, and then this semester, I asked him whether he knows anyone that can teach environmental law specifically on wildlife. And yes, he emailed to me, he replied to my email, and then he introduced me to his friends, his colleague actually, in his university. So I got this Caroline actually from him. So he introduced. So this is actually to expand your network. Okay, from here, because I do not know this lecturer, but I can invite this lecturer through my contact. So this is the second step. Okay, and then next one, sorry, I cannot. Okay, be the tortoise, not the hare. So this one is actually what I do in the next stage. Maknanya ni cara lain pula I buat. Okay, because I plan my subject for one semester, so I have one subject, even though I am teaching two codes. So these two codes I dah plan. I have PLK, I have undergrad, I have master. So this, even though it's similar subject, environmental law, but different groups. So this different group, I nak panggil several lecturers ataupun several industry for my class. So macam mana I nak buat? So this one, I dah habis dah semua yang kawan-kawan yang I kenal dah nak jemput, because I already invited them last semester. And then some of them, they are not in my area. Okay, even though I have some friends, tapi this connection ataupun this network, they cannot come to my class because we have scheduled for the class, so they cannot come. So I take another step. So another step is actually I join a conference ataupun it's not a conference, it's actually a seminar. So from here, from this seminar, nanti I'll share with you what seminar is that. Okay, from here, actually it's a free seminar. So I attended the seminar, and then the seminar is actually not in Malaysia. It's actually, and then a different zone. Different zone maknanya I attended that masa tu dekat US. So during at 2 AM in the morning, I attended the seminar, and I noticed the moderator has a very impressive CV, because he deals with the not only with he's not only the professor of law, but he's also terlibat dengan penggubalan undang-undang, and also dia terlibat with the judgment judiciary. So when I read his resume, his CV. So I email him. Where did I get the email address? From the website, from the university website. So I email him by, tengok kat sini, Nadiah, the next slide tu. So I introduce myself, okay, I email him that I attended his sessions dekat mana-mana event, bila, semua tu. And then of course lah, I compliment him. I kata, okay, the session is very good, and then his moderation session is very good, blah, blah, blah. And then baru I cakap, I nak jemput dia. Okay, slowly, not aggressively. Maknanya bukan masa tu juga yang I nak invite him. So I give several email first to him, baru I tu. Sebab I tanya dulu kan to him, okay, about this subject. Okay, I know that he discussed about this matter on the implementation of environmental law in his country, in US. And then I asked him about US law, on the environmental law, the enforcement part. This like macam nak kita panggil apa? Membuka what I don't know, macam kita nak berkenalan dululah. Okay, dalam bahasa simple, okay, kita berkenalan dulu, one email to email, and then the next email baru kita kata, okay, I would like to invite you for my class. So kat sini kita lambat-lambat is okay. Kita jangan terus macam drastic invite him, but be patient, okay, invite dia lepas he knows you. And then one of the tips adalah in his sessions, I always ask questions. So dia boleh recognize me. Okay, oh, you are the one from Malaysia yang tanya-tanya soalan macam tu. So he recognized me, sebab tu masa when I send him an email, dia senang nak. Dia reply, then he said yes, he want to become one of the guest lecturer in my class. Especially bila kita kata, okay, this subject is actually really good. The topic for this subject is actually berkaitan dengan yang his bidang. So how do you know his bidang? Actually carilah dekat dia punya biografi tu in their website ataupun dekat LinkedIn, and then you can get that. So kita matchkan whatever the kepakaran, his kepakaran actually with the one yang subject yang kita nak ajarkan the student in that particular week yang kita nak panggil dia.
Dr. If I may add a little bit, memang macam tu jugalah, saya pun bising juga dalam webinar apa-apa yang international kan. Saya attend webinar, I will be asking questions. Oh yeah, tapi in my case, dia yang cari saya kat LinkedIn. Dia tanya, hey, I would love to learn more about what you're doing. I'm like, oh, terbalik pula. But of course, it's an honor lah. I mean, kan, like you said, memang attend all these international webinar dah lah. Yang free banyak pun sebenarnya. You don't have to pay for it.
Yes.
Cari yang free. Nanti Dr. Ifa ada share, ada website yang where she went and get all these speakers, because people are all about sharing. People are more open to this now. And memang bila you bising-bising pula, bising. Maksud saya tanya soalan educated lah juga kan. Tak adalah kata bising, tak tentu arah. Orang tahu pun, I mean your full name akan ada, from which country, and people will introduce themselves. So when you ask questions, and then memang itulah macam in the case, it will lead to another thing, right? So
yes,
yeah.
yes. Macam dia macam tadi lah, kita build the networking kan. So introduce the network from one person to another person. So this is actually, but from there, actually bila people recognize you, this is about visibility lah. When people recognize you, then it's easier for you to actually to approach them. Okay, and then the next step is, okay, next one. Okay, find your network. Okay. Okay. So how do you find your network? Macam tadi lah, LinkedIn. Okay. I think 2 weeks ago, okay, yang ni pun Nadiah introduce me lah pasal LinkedIn. Yes, I do have LinkedIn, tapi macam tak pernah aktif, tak pernah activate that one. You need to find your platform, your social media platform. You nak gunakan mana? You can use your Facebook, you can use your Instagram ke, Twitter ke, but LinkedIn, someone can endorse you kat sini. So with LinkedIn, actually, you can find someone, your network here. So masa ni, okay, first of all, you kena ada very impressive profile kat situ. And then you need to post your profile, and then dekat profile tu, yang summary tu, your summary tu mesti kena, memang kena lah, kena cantik, and then your area. Because I remember when I want to invite one speaker, okay, one speaker actually for student activity, then I DM dia kat sini dekat LinkedIn. And then bila I cakap, okay, my name is Siti Hafsyah, I'm from, yes, dia kata, I dah baca, I've already read your profile, and then I know that you are this from PCC. Okay, so what can I help you? So dia sangguplah nak tolong kita sebab kita dah ada profile tu, memang kita dah buatkan, and then we need to always update our LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is very important. Okay, and then I remember 2 weeks ago, we invited the faculty actually for student activities. Okay, I mean with the club kan, student club, we invented social influencer, bukan social LinkedIn influencer from LinkedIn kan. So I carilah dekat LinkedIn tu siapa yang influencer kat situ, and then I DM them, and we managed to get 2 influencer. So for 2 groups of student dekat fakulti. So they are very happy, the student very happy, and suddenly dekat LinkedIn tu student law terlambat aktif dekat LinkedIn sebab everyone create their own punya LinkedIn. So this is very good because from LinkedIn you can do your networking sebenarnya online. You can become online networker through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, okay, what you can do is you can DM. For example, this one actually is from NGOs yang berkaitan dengan environmental law, because it's actually research institutions dekat Asian Pacific. So I DM him, okay, because I couldn't find the website. So I DM him whether he want to come to my class as a guest lecturer. So he said yes. And then barulah dia bagi email address dia semua, but actually not him actually yang datang to my class, but the director of the institution to organisation tu yang datang. It's very good because he's actually Filipino, tapi dia datang tu adalah from Australia. So daripada situ kita build the connection. So LinkedIn is very important, and then you can also find here macam search contohnya environmental law ataupun law lecturers ke apa, you can find that for me lah, from law faculty. So LinkedIn you need to yes, Nadiah.
If I may add, LinkedIn ni it's okay, when you mention Facebook, but actually LinkedIn ni is for people yang nak network, memang dia akan create LinkedIn profile dia. So they want to be contacted in a way tau. So memang is the place where you go. Sekarang ni, dulu I used to add 10 years dah ada LinkedIn tu, tapi tak pernah update. Tapi last December I wanted to pitch for this conference, and then dia minta LinkedIn account. I was like, alamak, tak update. And then last December, I dah start slowly update. And then there, you can establish lah visibility once a week, at least post something so that your post akan appear lah dekat dalam your circle tu. And also, it's for people who, macam ni betul macam Dr. Ifah cakap tadi, memang profile you tu, you have to take time a bit. Memang kena sabar untuk build your profile tu, kena ada so that credibility is there, and betul, you endorse orang-orang yang, sebab tu patutlah Dr. Ifah, saya perasan budak law banyak, saya macam banyak connect dengan saya ni tiba-tiba kan. Dia cari balik lecturer dia lah kot, tak tahulah kan. So memang I perasan juga, I think last week and last 2 weeks, waves of budak law connecting with me balik, you know. So now I know why. All right, so so basically LinkedIn is where, let's just focus on one and dominate that. That you
focus on one and dominate that. Sebab you can still use your Facebook ke, whatever, Twitter ke, but this one is to find your network.
For professional
your networking here. You can get, sebab kat sini you nampak law lecture, because here you need to, in your profile you kena letak you kerja apa semua. It's like macam Clubhouse, you need Clubhouse kan, we have the Clubhouse, kena nama betul, kena nama sebenar kan. So same here, you need to put even the gambar also. You can there has a apps kat sini dekat LinkedIn ni, you can use the apps tu untuk tengok whether gambar you tu sebenarnya sesuai tidak untuk LinkedIn or not. You can use that one. So this is very important for you to. Pagi tadi we have a session with FSPP. So now diorang dah masuk dekat sini. These lecturers also dah update their LinkedIn dah. So this is very important for you to have networking here, because first, okay, when you have LinkedIn, okay, you can DM anyone yang you dah jumpa in your LinkedIn ni, and then from there you can get the email address ataupun nombor telefon. Then you can contact them. For my student also, for student activities, I also do that, okay, for alumni, and then find the alumni here from, sebab kita kan ada kat situ daripada mana kita grad semua. So from there actually, we DM them first, ataupun dia orang akan pergi DM kita. So suddenly kita akan dapat banyak connection, dapat networking from overseas, and then tak tahu pun our alumni sebenarnya kerja dekat UK ke apa ke. So from there we can get their email address and also their phone number. Okay, and yes, LinkedIn one is LinkedIn, and then another one is, this is the one yang Nadiah cakap. So okay, I joined this Eventbrite. Okay, I think starting from last semester. So this Eventbrite actually they have there are two option, whether you pay or you want to get the free one. So I always go for the free one, and then search lah activity event apa yang you nak pergi, and I akan cakap kat situ environmental law. So I attended many environmental law and also environmental justice, whatever yang berkaitan dengan environment through online, and I don't mind sacrificing my time, my tidur time ke apa to attend the conference. Because why? Because I want to get to do online networking, because I need to get not only these lecturers, okay, macam tadi kalau tadi Nadiah kan ada ke atas Nadiah, can you go back to the quotes tadi tu? Because not this one, okay. When we do networking, it's not only about, okay, when networking is not about connecting people. Okay, we can get their ideas. Macam tadi, for example, yang I kata I introduced to Nadiah, Brian, I introduced yang he's from US. I introduced that to Nadiah, and in return, he introduced someone else from his country to me, to my class, and he introduced another person, not the one that he introduced to Nadiah's class. So maknanya kita punya network tu semakin lama semakin besar, the web is semakin besar and besar. So it's not about the people, connecting people and people, but Nadiah suddenly berminat terus nak buat law kan, because you have the idea about the practice of the law dekat US contohnya. So it's about the ideas, the opportunities there. So this is very important about networking, online networking. It's not about the people that you want to invite them. And another thing is, for me, for example, I can use, okay, when I invite, suddenly I have so many, when I email to them, and then all of them say yes, they want to become the guest lecturer for my class. And I was like, macam, alamak, dah ramainya. So what I did was, I buat macam, it's like a program for the student. For student, we have environmental law club at faculty. So this student need to organize a program, and then tak payah risau pasal speaker, because I have the speaker for them. Because this speaker actually, and then the audience, siapa nak datang? So actually my class lah. So my class will attend, become the audience, and then the speaker actually the guest lecturer yang I dah panggil, then dijadikan webinar. So when the webinar is become macam forum. So I have, I think early this month, I have 3 lecturers from 3 countries. So one is from professor from US, another one is from UK, and then another one is from Philippines. So all of them in different sessions, okay, they talk to our student about enforcement of the implementation of environmental law in their country. So that subject is actually has been taught in my class. So they compare with the other country.
Dr. Ifa, I think people want to know, I don't know whether they're asking questions, but I think I can read their mind. How much does it cost you to plan for that?
Free of charge. Free of charge. So yes, the faculty don't pay anything for them. So then they don't ask for any payment.
And then it goes back to how you pitch the idea in the first place, kan? How
yes,
you approach how you
approach. So maknanya is whether warm call ke ataupun yang tadi tu yang macam tortoise tadi tu kan, be the tortoise tu kan. So it's actually how do you approach them, the pitch tadi tu lah. And then the cost is only my time, but as Nadiah mentioned just now, I rasa macam I nak email, I email. But this is a rule of thumb, and then I always remind myself, I need to email them ataupun I need to WhatsApp them, depend on their time zone, not on our time zone. So I really appreciate that, because sometimes kita rasa macam tengah-tengah malam, kita rasa macam terbangun, okay, I want to send an email ataupun I want to send WhatsApp. This is not, I do not know, but it's not work for me, because I have a friend in Australia, because he actually he share with me, dia kata dia pun ada masalah macam tu. He always bangun pagi cepat, awal, for example, tapi he want to do the works early lah, masa tu pukul 4 pagi, but he will set his email ataupun he will set, tak tahulah dia punya WhatsApp tu macam mana dia set, and he will set that the message will be delivered masa working hours. So we maknanya kita jaga sesama kita. We really appreciate our relationship. So we don't want to become macam mengganggu mereka lah. Okay, so we make sure, okay, for me, I will make sure I'll send the email, okay, ikut waktu zone sana. So for example, kalau I rasa macam, oh sekarang ni I tiba-tiba ada idea nak cakap pagi-pagi pukul 8 pagi. No, pukul 8 pagi kat sana. Is it appropriate or not for me to send an email to him dekat 8 malam dekat US? So normally I won't do that. I akan tunggu sampai dia punya working hour. Just simpan dululah, setkan the email tu, send to that. Kalau WhatsApp pun, I want to WhatsApp my friend dekat Australia, I will kira dulu. Okay, dekat Australia 3 jam, 2 jam. So okay ke tidak? But sometimes sebab dia akan rasa macam offended lah kita hantar email ataupun WhatsApp waktu-waktu yang lepas working hours, especially dekat negara-negara barat kan, they are very particular about this. Okay, and then this is a pre-class.
Tapi actually Dr. Ifah, if I may add, sebenarnya kalau kita send ikut time zone kita, the email nanti akan turun ke bawah, dia tak nampak first thing tau. So bila you dah buat macam tu, bila kita set time according to their time zone, pukul 8 pagi dia masuk office, dia dapat email tu, so that's perfect. That your email will be on top of the list, that yang unread email, you know. So janganlah, that is actually very good practice sebenarnya. I think, yeah, we should all, I mean, respect their times, especially Europeans lah. I think they have this set of, like, they don't work on it, they don't send emails after 5, you know, this kind of thing. So yeah, Dr. Ifah, thank you for the tips. Yes, it's for everyone. I've been practicing that as well. Yeah.
Because I got these tips from Australian because they really respect their time because they don't work after office hour. So
they have work and life balance. We don't. Oops.
Even though they are actually working, tapi they respect other people's time lah. That one is very important. And then okay, this one is actually pre-class discussion yang I cakap tadi tu, pre-class session. Okay, after you send them follow-up email, you need to do pre-class discussion. And masa ni pre-class discussion ni memanglah waktu malam because time zone. The challenges with global learning adalah time zone. Especially for my class, I couldn't do any global learning for my morning class. Sebab time zone. Okay, for example, I'll ask them, macam contohnya kat UK, is it okay for you to come to my class at 10 o'clock in the morning dekat Malaysia? It means dalam pukul 4 pagi. Of course, I don't want, kan? 4 pagi diorang. So, I have to opt for another class lah. Maknanya, I need to sacrifice yang kelas pagi tu memang tak boleh lah ada global learning. So, I will go for the afternoon class. So 2 o'clock just nice because 2 o'clock actually sama dengan pukul 7 o'clock kat sana. 2 o'clock, okay, 7 o'clock dekat UK. So just nice. Ataupun maybe kita extend pula kelas kita, maybe we can ask the student whether are you free at 4 o'clock, tapi normally I won't do that lah. I akan ikut jadual yang betul-betul, my jadual because that is my class, because I don't want to macam disturb my student punya timetable. So 2 o'clock, okay, kalau tak dapat yang UK, then I go for Australia. So Australia pun I tengok juga. Kalau 2 o'clock here maknanya pukul 5 petang sana, okay, I don't want to go there. Because 5 petang they after office hour in Australia. So Australia I can match with my class yang pagi. Ataupun dekat Indonesia, okay, can. Ataupun dekat mana lagi, dekat India. So we will play with the time kat situ. We want to respect not only our student but also our guest lecturer. But macam dekat US, okay, that one is for master class. Because master class kan malam. So we can do for yang US guest lecturer from US ni untuk class master. Unless if they willing, macam Brian, our friends kan, he willing to come anytime. So Brian is exceptional lah. Dia lain sikit. Okay, but macam ni memang I baru pertama kali kenal. I baru pertama kali kenal Emanuela from Italy. I baru pertama kali kenal Caroline. Emanuela, okay. Cerita Emanuela ni adalah cold calls. Okay, it's different from the warm calls. Emanuela, sebab I rasa macam, okay, I've invited several of my friends. I have a list. Suddenly I want to someone else yang I tak kenal. I want to challenge myself. So what should I do? Okay, I try to, okay, I want someone, and then I kata I want someone from top university semua macam tu. So I went to the website. I pergi tengok dekat dia punya LinkedIn. Oh, she's not active. She has a LinkedIn account, tapi tak aktif. So what I did was, I go to the website, the university website. So from the university website tu, okay, I tengok list of macam from the university, list of the expert for environmental law. Who are the experts? So I email them. So out of there are 2 expert for environmental law in that university dekat UK tu, yang I pergi, and she's the one who responded to my email. Actually, she's on leave, but she responded to my email, and then dia kata, okay, selamat berkenalan lah, well. And then in the second email, I kata, can I invite you, because of course lah, I bermadah-madah lah awal-awal tu kan, I macam greetings dia dulu, and then I kata, okay, your work is, I kata, I baca, yes, I read dia punya articles, because they put their articles in the website kan, so I write the articles, this is about this, and then you are the expert ini, and then the second email baru I invite her. So actually in the first email pun dia dah setuju nak to come my class, tapi I courtesy kan. So the second email, so Emanuela is actually memang I tak pernah jumpa, and Emanuela I jumpa melalui cold calls. Memang berani gila lah. But the second professor, maknanya I email to Professor just now, Emanuela, and another one, and another professor, he also emailed to me, replied to my email, but he said that he's very busy, the schedule is full until end of this year. So I mean, I understand lah, maknanya he's not willing to come to my class, he can't come to my class. And then another person juga, I DM, macam ni pun berani gila, for my student punya activities, for mental health activities. So I DM her, and then immediately he replied to my DM. Dia kata, okay, my schedule dah penuh sampai end of this year, and he is actually activist in UK, mental health activist, okay, dekat UK. And then she said that if you want to invite me, you can invite me next year. But dia tak cakap pasal harga langsung. So that is the beauty of online networking, sebab they don't mind about the price, as long as they can come to us and they can share actually their knowledge to our students. Okay, and then bridge the gap. Okay, what is bridge the gap? Okay, maknanya we need to always contact them. Okay, macam I pagi tadi tiba-tiba I rasa macam I need to contact my networking dekat Australia, sebab macam dah lama sangat I tak contact her. So I just say hi to her. So maknanya kita tak nak sampai lost contact langsung. So bridge the gap. Maybe we can actually previously macam tadi tu bridge the gap. I dah kenal Caroline, I dah kenal Emanuela. So apa yang I buat bridge the gap? Nadiah. Okay, not this one kot, bridge the gap. Okay. Okay. Tak apa yang ni. Bridge the gap. Okay. So dengan yes, the slide just now. Okay. With Karen, okay, bridge the gap. Dengan Karen, actually, I tak kenal Karen. Okay, tak pernah jumpa, tak pernah kenal. But just now, I invited the deputy dean. I mentioned just now, I invited one of the deputy dean in one of the university in Australia. So this deputy dean, when I invited her, she said to me, okay, Siti, can you come to my class also to teach? But she's not teaching environmental law, and then she's not teaching insolvency law. But she said to me, she told me that she will introduce me to the person, okay, the lecturers who's sitting in that subject. So she introduced me to Karen. So and then Karen actually emailed me about another networking in US. So this is how Karen introduced me with the networking in US, whereby I had an opportunity to become part of the team on developing not the syllabus. Actually, this is actually for the student to come. They have this course for COVID-19 punya macam the discussion with the student. Okay, but they want the input from many academicians all over the world. So Karen invited me. Okay, Karen introduced me to this professor in US to become part of the team. But actually Karen is not in the team. So now I have my connections, my networking with David from US. And from David, I know Anos just now. So, and also I have another networking with another professor from Europe through this networking. So, but I don't stop there. benda ni dah habis pun, equality course ni dah habis dah bulan Disember lepas. And I don't stop there. Of course, yang ni memang penat gila because the class is actually every week and then I tak buat apa-apa pun. I just attend the course and then dia minta input to comment about, they have the breakout session from the student and then I have to be the facilitator ke apa. And then the class actually pukul 2 pagi. Sebab 2 petang kat sana. 2 pagi here. So but I attended all the classes. But even though the course already ended in December, I still keep in touch with David. Okay, in return, David called me again this semester for another project. So this is a bridge the gap. So from David, I get another person actually to do my networking. So from one person to another person. This is bridge the gap. Okay, and then Nadiah, satu. Okay, so pulling a good network together take effort, sincerity, and time. So of course, sincerity. So I'm doing this not only for myself, okay, but for my students, okay, and then for the faculty and also for UiTM, of course, because whatever I do is I kata macam okay, as long as I can invite them, okay, when this networking is very beneficial to my students because they can get the learning outcome to lebih bermanfaat for the student when they can actually compare with other countries. Okay, and then they can listen. Macam tadi Nadiah cakap, it's not about the theory that we can share with them, but they can hear live from that person from that particular countries. And then, yes, after that, okay, don't stop there. Okay, send an appreciative email. So macam ni, kalau I boleh besarkan Nadiah. So tiba-tiba je dah lama dah habis dah the program for 2 weeks. I send to the professor gambar dia masih kat kelas. Okay, and then I send, okay, of course, bila kita buat program ni, okay, kita kena dapat inform the faculty, get the approve from the faculty. So the letter from the faculty to him, okay, I send the letter from the faculty, and then also the CIDL. Okay, we have 2 CIDL lah, macam CIDL pun akan bagi CIDL, but this one is CIDL from the faculty. And then I send his photo masa during the session with the CIDL. So dia terkejut, and then he said that he want to come back to my class anytime. He want to do it again. And this person actually, this professor actually yang I kenal through cold call tadi tu. So he's become my friend. So sekarang ni dia hantar email to me, dia hantar dia punya articles, he share about the situation in US. Even though actually memang muka prof ni sangat-sangat macam garang, memang takut, my student pun takut. But now actually because we appreciate after every session, I will email them. Kata terima kasih, okay, I say that thank you many times apa benda sebab ni, and then give the feedback of the students. But after that, 2 weeks after that, I send another email. Macam ni lah contohnya, I hantar the poster, not the poster, the certificate. And another person, okay, I have another, Nadiah tengah cakap. And also, not only this professor, another person also, okay, this one, I send him, okay, this is the example. Okay, masa we already prepared the CIDL, ambil gambar dia together with the CIDL. They will appreciate it very much. So this professor Sam, actually, sampai bila-bila pun, bila I text him, dia kata, okay, Siti, how are you? Oh, macam ni, puasa itu. He texts me, Siti, salam Ramadan. Not me, but he himself texts me. So this is how we do online networking, not only for one time, okay, but it's sustainable. So for the future. Okay, next slide, Nadiah. I think this is the last slide. Okay, just on time. Okay, this is Caroline. Okay, recently, yeah, this week, he sent me an email. Dia kata she want to come again to my class, and then actually, she invited me to come to her class in UK in Portsmouth to become the guest lecturer. And in fact, dia kata if possible to come for physical class. So macam I was like macam physical class bila masa lah pula, right? So macam, and not only Caroline, but also other lecturers from other countries macam tadi tu Panos, he also invited me to come to their class, okay, in Europe to become one of the visiting professor. And then in fact, I was invited as the visiting fellow in 2 universities in Australia because of online networking. Okay, I think that's all from me, Nadiah, okay, on how to do networking.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Ifa, for the sharing, the invaluable sharing session. I think this is some things that, I mean, you can't get from books sangat lah, because dia tak tulis buku lagi. Nanti dia tulis buku, you boleh dapat daripada buku kan, all this. But anyway, so please scan to sign up and receive GL Global Learning Information Package. I think you can scan this QR code and then you will get, once you key in a few information about you, and then you will straight away get the Google Drive link. So for your perusal. So please, thank you very much, and have a lovely weekend. And don't forget to isi borang link kehadiran webinar. Thank you. Okay, Assalamualaikum.